and welcome to the Monday Night Build Show. I'm your host, Ben Estrino, here at the Empower Gaming Studio, and I'm looking forward to another awesome build tonight. Let me know if anybody has any questions during the build. I'm going to go ahead and just kind of boost right into it because we're starting pretty late tonight. So let me know if anybody has any questions, and without further ado, I'm going to switch over to the other scene that has a little bit of wider camera. We can also welcome back the Logitech Rally camera, which is this guy. So you have a nice crisp camera. Thank goodness. But we're just going to switch over and run through the build list very quickly here. So tonight we have a Ryzen 5 3600, which has a total of 6 cores, 12 threads, and a maximum boost of 4.2 gigahertz. So that's the Ryzen 5 3600 over there. We do also have the Thermalright Assassin X120 SE Tower Air Cooler. This guy has 4 heat pipes and a 120 millimeter PWM addressable RGB fan on it. It's in black because we're going with the black theme. And then we have a couple of 120 millimeter fans for the case here right next to it, which are also by Thermalright. Over here we have the addressable RGB RAM. The RAM is 16 gigabytes, DDR4, 3200 megahertz. So that's 2 8-gig sticks with a total speed of 3200 megahertz. It has addressable RGB on it. It's Silicon Power Zenith RAM. I've used this stuff in the past. I love it. It's great for the budget. And then we have a 1 terabyte M.2 Silicon Power SSD. We're going to be plugging all of that into a B450M DS3H Wi-Fi by Gigabyte. This is a great board, especially for the budget, because it has Wi-Fi built into it. Also has the PCIe slots that we want for the storage, and just all around, it's a solid board. We're going to be powering this with a AVG 500 watt power supply, 80 plus bronze by Arius Game, and the graphics card tonight is a Swift 210, which is a XFX, and it's an AMD Radeon RX 6600 graphics card with 8 gigabytes of GDDR6, and it is PCIe 4.0 compatible, though this motherboard does not have PCIe 4.0. That's the downside, but overall it's still going to run great even in PCIe 3.0. And the case that we're building in is the Vitro M03, which is a micro ATX tower. It's black, it has a mesh front, tempered glass door, and also has the some really good cable management on the back. So overall, great case to build in for a budget, but it also has quite a bit of quality in it as well. Without further ado, let's go ahead and get building. I'm going to go ahead and flip this hat around, and we're going to get started because it's creating some shadows. Let me know what you guys think of the new setup. If I move over here, it should center me up. Hey, look at that. So this should work pretty good. The lighting is a little bit meh, but I'll work on it. We're supposed to get some new things in here in the future soon. I'm going to move some of this out of the way because we're not going to be obviously starting with the power supply and the graphics card. We're going to be working with the motherboard, the CPU, the RAM, and all that good stuff. So we'll get started with that. I'm going to throw this out of the way. Then we're going to set this aside. And get this motherboard opened up. Alright, so we're going to open up the CPU, which is the Ryzen 5 3600. This one is actually sold without the cooler, so there's no box cooler. And we don't need the box cooler for this build because we have our own tower air cooler, so it doesn't make sense to spend the extra few dollars on the cooler that comes with the CPU when we're putting our own cooler on there anyway. So save a few bucks put that towards a better cooler. And overall, you get a better system in the end. Makes more sense. There we go. I'm going to go ahead and cut this Silicon Power Zenith package open, because it's a pain in the butt to actually open up without cutting it. They really make these packages so they cannot easily be open. And this song is for all you Battlefield fans out there. Alright, and then our Silicon Power 1TB Gen 3 PCIe SSD M.2. I'm going to set that here. And there we go. Now let's get the cooler installed, and then we can slap this inside the case. Okay, there we go. We have our motherboard. We have our CPU, our RAM, our SSD, and our cooler all installed on the motherboard here. Hold on one second, guys.
Me too, for sure. I'm like, I think this is a camper?
Yeah, big white camper.
So, alright.
I was actually... And we're back. Sorry, I had somebody come here to pick up. They're picking up a PC that they built, or that we built. We built. Anyway, get the case out. And we're going to slap this motherboard in there real quick. Where's the specs of this PC? What are they specs? The specs are Ryzen 5 3600, 6 cores, 12 threads, 4.2 gigahertz max boost, with a Thermalright Assassin 120 SE tower air cooler with 4 heat pipes and a 120 millimeter PWM addressable RGB fan. On a, also the green screen is awesome edition. Thank you. It's actually, there's actually no green screen behind me, so it's virtual that's doing that. So maybe I get glitchy every now and then, or things I'm holding get glitchy. Is this the Scout? This is not the Scout, but it's very close to the Scout. The Scout has a little bit newer hardware with the Intel and a much more powerful graphics card, but it's pretty close to the performance of the Scout. I keep wanting to say Stout. Yo, that's really cool. Yeah, for sure. We do have a Scout that is going to be built later this week live on stream. So if you wanted to tune in, I think it's going to be Wednesday or Thursday when we do that live stream. You could check out the Scouts being built. But overall, it's a Ryzen 5. This one is a Ryzen 5 3600, a B450 gigabyte motherboard, 16 gigs of addressable RGB RAM, which is 2 8-gig sticks, a 1 terabyte M.2 SSD Gen 3, and a Radeon RX 6600 8 gigabyte. So it's a very AMD, it's an AMD build for sure. And then we got a 500 watt power supply along with a some addressable RGB fans for the front of this case. This is a Vitro M03, which is a micro ATX tower. It's very similar to the Montech Air 100, very similar. It actually costs a little bit more and there's less features, but when the Montech Air 100 is hard to get, like right now, then we usually will switch over to these cases. It just costs a few more dollars, just as an example. But still, overall, it's a great case. I love it. It's basically the same thing as the Montech Air 100, except for you don't have the additional 3 fans on the front, which the Montech Air 100 does have, and it also doesn't have a hub, which is on the back. The Montech Air 100 has a addressable RGB hub and a PWM hub here on the back, which can be controlled by the motherboard or the reset switch, which is really cool. So that's additional value that the Montech Air 100 gives you at $10 or so less. And that's why we would normally go with the Montech Air 100. But their inventory is kind of low right now. So here we are, the Vitro M03, which I will clean up these cables here as well. And we've already got the CPU mounted to the motherboard, as well as the RAM and the SSD and the air cooler. It's all mounted to the motherboard. We're getting ready to now take that board and put it into the case here. So I'm just getting the case ready. We want to move these cables and push them through this top slot here. Nobody wants ugly cables on the inside of the case. There we go. Where did our thingamabobber go? Oh. Alright, so now we're going to run or route some of these cables to their respected locations that we need them at for the case to the motherboard. And then we'll flip it over and plug them in. Front panel and USB 3. Both of these go to this front. Bottom front. USB 2.0 and HD audio. Put it on this bottom port. Then we'll flip it over. Plug them in. There we go. Hey, Brody, what's up? Let's go! I'm glad you could join us. Don't worry, we didn't make it too far. Even if we did, you didn't miss the exciting piece, which is actually turning it on for the first time. That's probably the most exciting part of each build stream, is firing it up and seeing what it looks like. Well, I'm glad you're excited, man. We're building it right now. We've got these fans that we need to add to the front, which is going to be our intake. So we have three 120 millimeter fans that are going to be intake. So that's a lot of awesome airflow into the case or into the PC, and that'll help keep everything cool. I agree. We should all be excited. So many twist ties. I don't know how many twist ties I'm gonna have to touch tonight, but there's quite a few already. We've got a pile growing over here. If anybody's been following me long enough, they know I'm not a fan of twist ties. Or at least it's a love-hate relationship. Just because I have to deal with so many of them. Yeah. You're going night-night? Okay. Can I... You want me to give you a hug and a kiss? Oh, you're going up? Okay. Good night. My one of my kiddos are going to bed. They had to come tell me good night. And apparently did not want a hug and a kiss. Good night. Not tonight. Apparently. Okay. Got all the fans plugged in. Very nicely. we're just going to do a little bit of quick cable management back here because this is just a really big mess right now. I'm not a big fan of it. What? Yeah. Oh, hug and a kiss. Oh, okay. Good night.
What's that?
That's a camera.
Yeah?
That's a microphone.
What's... Hi.
Can you say hi to everybody?
Hi.
Hi. Is it silly?
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. Okay. You go to bed. Bye-bye.
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 All right, you go to bed. Okay. You talk to your mother about that. We'll say in the Montech Air 100, there's probably way less cable management that I have to do. I have to do way more cable management in this case. Only because, you know, fans aren't already pre-installed, so there's a little bit extra work there. But I guess it means I can do it my way. Which is always going to be clean. Clean cable management. There you have it. Pretty clean to me. Put that front panel back on. Now we could do the EPS cables, the graphics card, and the power supply. What happened to those cables? Did we not do EPS? Nope, we went standard. So let's get the power supply out. Hey, what's up, man? I got swords over on the kick. What's going on? I'm just building a PC, sir. Just building. Need to peel this little plastic peel off this thing, because these things like to fall off and get sucked into fans. What are you working on tonight? Well, I'm working on an AMD Ryzen 5 3600, RX 6600, 16 gigabytes, B450, 1 terabyte M.2 NVMe, SSD, 500 watt power supply, and all black with some with an aftermarket cooler by Thermalright and some addressable RGB. Overall, it's going to be a sweet little, a nice entry PC. It's going to deliver some good performance and provide a decent enough upgrade path for the future. May not be a $2,000 gaming computer, but it still packs a pretty good punch for its price. Like, if you're looking for something to start out with that's not going to blow your bank account out of the water or put you in debt, like serious debt, but give you a really good gaming experience right up front and give you an upgrade path to work with, this is the style of build I would recommend highly. It's a wonderful looking build, quality wise. It's great. And just overall, all around, solid build. And it's built by me. Which means you're going to have awesome cable management. Hey, what's up, Uservert? I don't have to spend thousands for a decent PC. No, you don't have to, man. Nobody does. You could start out with a wonderful PC in the 600, 800 range and get the job done and still have a wonderful experience with your PC. Alright, so we routed this power cord for the graphics card. So next up, really, we just got to get the graphics card in here, finish a little bit of cable management on the back side, and then we can fire this bad boy up and see what it actually looks like for the first time. Yo, Brody, are you ready for this? This is a Swift 210 by XFX, which is Performance Gaming Graphics since 2002. These guys date way back. Yes, you ready? Okay. Well, hang in there. We're almost there. But the Swift 210 was a series that came out, I'd say around the, I think it was the RX series, the RX 480, 580, etc. That's when the Swift model, I think, or series started. And then later, you know, they've just gotten better and better. XFX has always been known for their coolers being a little bit better. but they always get them at a cheap, they get you the cards at a cheaper price, it seems like, every time. So they've always just been a great all-around company. And I haven't really used Swift in a while because Power Color has been kind of that replacement, only because of the cost. But these cards have come down in price, so you'll probably start seeing me use these more. Because I love these cards. Love them. But this is a AMD Radeon RX 6600 with 8 gigabytes of GDDR6 memory. It's 128 megabits, or 128 bit, sorry. So it's good bandwidth there for the 6600. That's what it's standard bandwidth, I guess you can call it. For an RX 6600. Some strange packaging. I've not seen that before. But we've got plastic all around the card, so we'll have to take that all apart. I built with this brand a ton with the RX 580 and RX 570 because they were like the go-to cards to build with for the most bang out of your buck. And the RX 6600 and 7600 are kind of both doing that, or taking that place. Unless Intel steps up, and maybe Intel can enter that space as well. We're going to peel all these peels. We don't have any plastic accidentally getting sucked into a fan. And then having the bicycle dirt bike noise sound effect. And having Brody call me and be like, Ben, I don't know why, but my PC sounds like a dirt bike. We're going to avoid that by removing the plastic. Because wouldn't that be funny? My bad. That would be a cool feature. Oh, you like the dirt bike sound effect feature? And actually, back in my day, Papa Goose, and you probably remember this too. Not calling you old or anything, I'm just saying you probably remember it. But back in my day, computers had turbo buttons. Now, it didn't exactly do what you think it would do, which is make it go faster. But there were buttons for turbo. So we could do something like that, maybe put a turbo button in there, and then it makes a sound. You know? He is old. He's not that old. He can't be. He's probably not much older than me. I thought I was the old man around here. Wait, is Papa supposed to stand for Grandpa or Dad? Guess that's the question we should be probably asking ourselves. We just want to make sure that that's clearing that fan, so we don't get another dirt bike noise from the cable hitting the fan. You know, we don't want that. Nobody likes their PC sounding like a dirt bike, unless you're. I got swords. Didn't it turn up the fan speeds? I don't remember exactly. It did something with. I need to go back and read on it. It's been so long, but I remember it being a very confusing button, because you'd think hitting the turbo button on your computer made your computer go faster, but that's not actually what it did. I know there was fan controllers that you could put on your computers back in like the 2000s that had fan control, speed, etc., which was like high end, by the way, being able to control your fan speeds and then also being able to do it through the BIOS, etc. That kind of stuff was, those mods were like super high end. If you had those on your PC, then you probably built your PC yourself, or it was just a mark for it's a badass PC. So, of course, I had them. But you guys should have seen my my Mountain Dew case that PC that I built. It was literally a computer case built out of Mountain Dew bottles. And yes, I drank all of the Mountain Dew. That was part of the project. Having to drink enough plastic and aluminum cans mixed to produce enough resources to produce a case. It was the dumbest thing I probably have done in my life, but it was so cool after it was done. It was worth it. Just download more RAM. There you go. That's all you gotta do. I Got Swords has the right idea. Download more RAM, and then you'll get your dirt bike sounds too. It'll be like going from like an RM 125 to a 250 to a 4-stroke 450. Sure. So do you guys like the kind of half-ass green screen going on? Is it a cool effect? Nerd? No. Ain't nobody a nerd around here, bruh. It's geek to you, sir. I'm not a nerd, I'm a geek. Nerds hang out in their mom and dad's basement. Hey, thanks for the resub. You didn't have to do that. Didn't you just do that? I thought you just did that. But anyway, nerds are, you know, in mom and dad's basement and lonely people that probably should have a best friend, but they don't. Okay? Geeks are badasses that wear sunglasses and they don't look away, they don't look at explosions. They don't turn around to look at explosions. They just keep walking. That's a geek. Okay? I'm a geek. I probably would look at the explosion, but I'm still cool like a geek. Big difference though. Okay, time to clip all these zip tie zippy zips. Zippity zip zip. Yeah. Okay. Voila. Some clean cable management, wouldn't you say so? Let's just hide that. Nobody look. Yeah. All right. Back panel's going on. That side of the PC probably won't see the light of day for the next 2 years. Unless Brody, of course, is upgrading. Nah, JK. Back at you. Oh, nice. Oh, by the way, the rally camera's back. It has been brought back to life. Thanks to Logitech. So now we have our wonderful zoom. And we can see things again. Look at how awesome that looks. maybe a little bit dark, but we are building in a black case with a black background and lighting without any diffusers. Because I'm cheap. And we can see you in the bottom corner. I know, like, look. Yeah. I could be like eating Radeon. This doesn't work very well. Getting all streamer on us. Sure. No, this is, what's that app called? X Split or whatever. I don't know what the name of the app is, but it's that app that does the virtual... Hey, Brody, thanks for following. Over on the Twitch. But, it's just the app that, clears the background, and it's all virtual. So I don't actually have a green screen or anything behind me. If you saw my background, you'd be like, oh my gosh. Just like all the years before. He's going pro for sure. Actually, I'm going pro in a game, but it's a game that you guys probably never heard of. It's the RTS that you guys never heard of unless I probably told you about it already. But I'm currently in an active national tournament, which is cool. I have practice tonight. But it is, hey, thanks. But we are representing the United States as the United States team too, because there's 2 teams for each nation. And we just kicked France's butt yesterday. So we're moving on to into the tournament, moving up the bracket. What did you say you were using for the green screen? Nothing. There's no green screen. It's all virtual. So it's the power of the AI in the app determining who I am and what my background is, and then removing the background. The software, it's like X Split. Here, let me pull it up. Yeah, it's X Split VCam. It's free to use, but you do have their watermark, like right here, which is kind of annoying. But you could always drop yourself lower, or the scene, or the camera lower so it's out. But I mean, honestly, the logo doesn't look that bad. If you wanted to use a free version, I just bought it because I like supporting companies that offer cool stuff like this. Literally, I could be doing anything and remove my background, which is, to me, worth everything, because I usually have messy backgrounds. That's what I've used before. Okay, basically like NVIDIA broadcast, yeah. Except I needed something that takes my existing camera, makes it a virtual camera, and then hands it back to my software as a camera. Which is, because if you go into like OBS, for example, it actually, instead of showing up as a Logitech camera, which is what I'm using for this, then it would be a XSplit virtual camera. And that's what it's using. You've lost me. Yes, I know. It's so confusing, the math behind it. Anyway, we're keeping Brody from seeing his PC. Gosh. Talking about this stupid stream stuff. Brody's over here just itching to see his PC turned on. Sorry, Brody. But I nerded out. I mean, I geeked out. Dang it, I geeked out. It's the Matrix. I was geeking out. I didn't nerd. Nerds are weak. Alright, so I'm just getting this pile of screws and junk cleared off so we can have a nice clean space to fire this bad boy up. Okay. Nobody... I'm geeky nerd, and I'm proud of it. Okay, you could be proud of that, sir. Let me get this plugged in. Well, you can be a geeky nerd all you want, sir. I'm not going to judge you. Just missing some USB cables after cleaning things up. That's definitely not it. There it is. Tried to run away from me. You sneaky little son of a bitch. Get over here. Alright, so we're going to move the camera here. Or switch scenes. Hopefully you guys... Whoa, it got dark. What happened? Huh. I didn't realize how dark it got when there was nothing on the scene. No light to expose. Or to be exposed. Oh shit. Come here, app. We're gonna point this up. Okay. Brody, are you ready to power this bad boy on for the first time? Post. Yeah, we could post. Maybe it will, maybe it won't. Are you ready? Drum roll. Yes, Brody's ready. Let's go. It's on, I promise. There it is. So the RGB lighting is going to default to the ugly Gigabyte orange. Sorry. When it first powers on for the first time, like it is now. Once we get the software in, and we could change the RGB colors. That's why it's orange. But Gigabyte likes to make this like orange red color. As its default when it first turns on. But there it is. We are posted. We are on the American Megatrends BIOS. We're accepting the FTPM. GG. Thank you, sir. Good games. I have only ever seen one PC that you have built not post. And it was probably something stupid I did. Hey Thomas, thanks for the like over there on Facebook. I appreciate it, sir. It was probably something stupid I did as to why I didn't post. But I have had a few. I've had a few PCs not post. Oh no, we need a boot disk. So in the past, that has happened. We're going Windows 10. No, it was the hardware. I don't remember what PC that was, but it has happened in the past to me. And it has actually happened, like towards the end of 2022. It was happening a lot. And, I ended up, I started testing some of the parts that were like commonly being bad, like motherboards. I think that was a big problem that I was having in 2022, and I started wondering if like COVID started impacting quality, quality on some of the products. So, which I mean, it's turned around since then, and I have not had as nearly as many lemon parts as I did back in 2022. 2022, I had bad CPUs, I had bad motherboards, I had bad RAM, I had bad video cards, lots of bad video cards. I had bad power supplies. I even had case fans bad, and those are the hardest to F up. The easiest to make. So, just out of all of the components throughout the year of 2022, it felt like the quality control was just tanked. And I feel like that was because of COVID. So that sucked. I took a lot of loss in 2022, and that means that's just a loss. Most of the parts I was able to return back to the manufacturer, and either get a refund for it or have them send me a replacement product, similar or better value. But at the same time, it's all that time it takes, that's the loss. So all that time that I spent dealing with the bad parts and having to send them back and replace them, and then also in the meantime, the other problem is that I not only do I have to replace the item immediately and not wait for the RMA, because for the new build I'm trying to get this PC out within a timely manner, so I'm going out and buying a new product for the PC to replace the new product that failed. So that's 2 products, and so then I have to sit on that product, the return product, until that sells or gets used elsewhere. So it's like sitting on a bunch of cash flow that you thought you were going to have but no longer do. But it has gotten better. So I haven't ran into too many issues this year. I'll use you elsewhere. Yeah. I mean, it'll just sit on a shelf until the next build, or that requires one of those components. And I actually have a pile of parts here from builds. I have a 205 Mesh C. I have 2 NZXT H9 flows in white, brand new in the box, doing nothing. I have a Leon Lee Landcool 3 in white, because I had to buy that to take the front panel off to ship it to a customer because their front panel got damaged in shipping. And that was the quickest way for me to do that without going through Leon Lee, ordering one, waiting half a year for it to get here. And so now this one's just sitting here waiting for that replacement front panel from Leon Lee. It's just, I've got strimmers, I've got a 420mm AIO over here, brand new, never used, just sitting here doing nothing. Deep Cool LT 120 sitting here. Like 3 boxes of just fans, just tons of fans. Tons of AMD, brand new AMD coolers. So if anybody needs like stock AMD coolers or Intel, stock Intel coolers, I have like probably 500 of each. No joke. Just sitting over here in boxes. I could sell them on eBay for like 10 bucks a piece, but that's a lot of work. So anyway, we're installing Windows right now on your PC. And I should have it ready by the end of day tomorrow. So I'll go through, do the software side of things, which is Windows, drivers, updates, BIOS update, make sure the XMP profile's set. And then after everything's configured and set and I'm happy with it, then we're going to run through and do the battle tested phase, which is running all of our benchmarks, or as many as we can, to test the system as good as we can so that we can ensure that the system's going to perform where it should be, and also cool where it should be. So we'll be checking and monitoring the temps through those tests. And overall, once it's completed, we'll certify it and it'll be ready for pickup. I think we're picking it up, right, Brody? Yes, this one's set for pickup. So we'll be picking this one up when you're ready. Yeah! Is there a day that you're planning on coming by to pick it up, or if I had it ready, for example, by, we'll say 6 p.m. Tuesday? And no, none of you can show up and pretend to be Brody because I check licenses. You'd have to really fool me. Because I've had a similar situation like that in the past. Wednesday afternoon? Yeah, that sounds good. I just wanted to check because I will actually be out of town this weekend. I have to leave town. Family's going to stay in, but I do have to leave town over the weekend, so just wanted to make sure. Okay, so Wednesday is good. Hi, I'm Brody. No, Scotty, you're not Brody. All right, cool. All right, well, I'm going to end the stream here tonight. Thank you, everybody, for joining us and hanging out while we build Brody's PC. And I look forward to getting this over to you, Brody, so that you can start enjoying it. Have a good night, guys. Happy Monday.